Hi, all. Good morning. I am Suhail. I am working as a technical lead engineer and having 7 years of experience in software industry. Today we are dealing with the Kotlin programming language. As you know, this is one of the latest, the new generation programming language, and so it is a very popular nowadays in terms of it is very rich in terms of the rich in features, built-in features, support and all. So it is very popular, and also the official Android development we are using Kotlin nowadays. So that is why it is more popular. So the ecosystem is the building that Kotlin ecosystem is building and all. So we are dealing with the basics of the this Kotlin programming language, and the audience of this course is the beginner who is having the knowledge about the object oriented programming languages such as Java or CPP. So if you have any programming language experience, you can follow the content of this series of videos. Then we can start with the basics of Kotlin. So what is Kotlin? So Kotlin is a JVM based programming language which is developed by JetBrains. So if you are a developer, or if you have some experience in development, you may heard the name JetBrains. So it is one of the company who developed the official Android IDE, that Android Studio. So very popular and very helpful. If you are a Java Android developer, you may use it and you may taste its beauty. So the Android Studio, it was developed by JetBrains, and also if you are a Java developer, you may heard IntelliJ IDE. IntelliJ IDE, it was also developed by JetBrains. So Kotlin, this programming language is developed by JetBrains, and then Kotlin, it was created with the Java developers in mind. So why we need a new programming language? We have so many programming languages like Java. So we have Java. Then why we need Kotlin programming language? The thing is that the Kotlin, if we are while considering the Java, we are saying that Java is a new programming language, but it is somewhat old programming language. So if we want to make the new generation language like so it is moved to Swift programming language. So if the moderning, that is, if we need to introduce new concept into already existing language like Java, so it will be very difficult to dealing with the new concept and backward compatibility and all. So it is better in some point of time we need to use a new language. You need to move forward to a new programming language to avoid the overhead and see what the kind of, that if you are a developer, if you're working in a product or in a project for a long time, and that program, the language or the code will become a legacy. So it kind of legacy, if you overcome a legacy, we need to go with a new programming language. So that is why the Kotlin was created, and but the Kotlin was created with the Java developers in mind. Means if you are a Java developer, you can easily switch to Kotlin without any overhead. So the Kotlin was created with the Java developers in mind. So if you are don't worry, if you are a Java developer, you can easily switch to Kotlin. You can learn the feature because most of the things are common in Java and Kotlin. So that is the beauty of Kotlin. So next, IntelliJ is the main development IDE. So the same company who developed with a Java IDE, who developed the Android Studio, they developed this programming language. So we can easily use that IDE also. So IDE is very important in terms of the development. Like if you're writing the code in an you're interacting with okay, these developers are interacting with the id. So if IDs are very smart, you can what you can say most of our time, because there are so many shortcuts we can use. We can reuse the component, we can make some templates, and you don't want to write from the beginning. There are so many suggestions you will get while writing the code and all. So if the today's IDs are very very smart, in terms of rich in features, like they will suggest everything. We will give suggestion, they will give what is a smart, we can say. So id, okay, so the id is very important in development. So IntelliJ is the main development IDE for Kotlin programming languages. The next is Java developers can easily learn Kotlin. As I mentioned earlier, most part of the language is similar to Java. That is why, so the main audience is Java developers. That is why the most of the features are similar to Java. So you can easily learn Kotlin programming languages. Okay, then we will move to what is advantages of Kotlin. So we have already programming languages, like different programming languages. Java is the CPP is the. So what is the advantages of using Kotlin? So that is a question, because if a new thing is coming, then definitely people will ask why we need to use this Kotlin new thing, because we already for the last 10 years I am using this one, and why you are suggesting to use this new thing? The question will arise. So we need to address all this question. So we need to specify, if a salesman, okay, if a salesman is selling some product, then he will suggest, okay, he will explain what all are the benefit, what all are the features of this new product compared with the old product. That is likewise, if you are introducing, or if you are introducing, of someone is introducing new programming languages, then they should explain what all are the new features available to this programming languages, apart from the old programming Java programming, the old programming languages like Java. So we can go to each and every advantages of the Kotlin. One thing is, the important thing is more expressive. Kotlin is expressive language. What do you mean by expressive language? It is nothing but you can write more with much less code. You know that today's world, the new generation people, they are all not passionate, and they are in Instagram and all. You know that reels, 1 minute reels, or seconds, 30 minutes reel. So the people are not at all uh, able to write a much code. Okay, if something generated, auto generated, the life will be easy. So the new generation programming language, you don't want to write each and everything, each and every step, you don't want to write. But you want to write only few things, the rest of the thing will be. So by writing a simple code, you can achieve big thing. That is the beauty of new generation programming languages like Kotlin. You can write more with much less code. If you learn this at the end of this series, you should learn this beauty of this language. Then the next advantage is null safe. Kotlin is null safe. So if you are a developer, a Java developer, and having some experience in the production code, you may get some null pointer of exception at runtime, and you may get so many bugs related to this null pointer exception. So Kotlin is null safe, which means that we deal with the possibility of null at the time of compilation. So there is no possibility of null pointer exception at runtime. That is the beauty of null safe. That is the beauty of Kotlin. It is null safe. Then the next advantage is the functional programming. You know that Kotlin is object-oriented programming, but in the modern programming languages, we know in Java we have the lambda expression and all. So this kind of the new trends are coming in modern programming language as part of modern programming language. So the Kotlin also having these functional approaches. Functional programming language, Kotlin is basically an object oriented programming language, but it is support functional programming as well, and it is a very effective in new programming and new that is modern programming languages. Functional programming is very important and more effective. Then another advantage of Kotlin programming language is extension function. This means that we can extend already existing class. It is not an inheritance. We can extend function to already existing class without knowing its source code. For example, if we know that we have string class, or we have some util class. Okay, util class that is dealing with the string. We suppose we have a string class. In string class there are so many methods available: string concatenation, string substring. There are so many functions. If you want to add one more function to to uppercase the first and the last character of a string, if you want that functionality as part of string function, you can extend already existing string function without knowing its source code. We can define such function as part of already existing class. That is what is called extension function. You can extend already existing class without knowing the source code. So all these features like null save function, functional programming approach, external function, extension function, these all will be covered in later section. So this only no, don't worry. So we will explain in details in the next section. The next advantage of the Kotlin programming language is this interoperability. What do you mean by interoperability? You can say that it is a very good feature, because if you are introducing new programming language, and if you want to switch or switch already existing application from Java to Kotlin. In Android, the official programming language was Java. So now we can the official language is Kotlin. Kotlin also support to develop Android application. So if you are working in a project where it is in the middle of a product, so if you want to it is not possible to switch all the code, the application itself from the beginning, all the application to Kotlin it is not easy to switch the entire application. Instead you can mix. Okay, if you are developing new features, then you can add those features in Kotlin. So which means that you can continue using most libraries and code written in Java, because the interoperability between both languages is excellent. So in a single application you may have the code written in Java as well as Kotlin. So already feature, that is if you are working in a project that was written in Java programming language, and if new features are coming, you can write those features in Kotlin. That is the beauty of Kotlin. That is what is called interoperability. So it is even possible to create mixer project with both Kotlin and Java files. These all are the advantages of features. So we are summarizing. Okay, we are summarizing this section. What we learned: Kotlin is a JVM based language. It's a new programming language, and it was developed by JetBrains, and we are using IntelliJ for the Kotlin development. And what all are the advantages of the Kotlin? It is more expressive language, it is null save, it is functional, and it support extension function, and it is interoperable. These all are we learned in this section. So in the next section we will be dealing with the detail. We will be going into the basics of this language. We will be dig into the detail in the next section. Thank you for watching. Thank you.